Everyone's attention. If you haven't been seated yet, would you please take your seats? We're going to have the students sitting up here by school, not in alpha order, guests behind in the bleachers, faculty up here in the front. I think everyone's hooded. The videographer for the program has asked that family and friends do not block the aisle taking photographs. We are live streaming this, so we want to make sure that the live stream is good and a good video for everyone who can't be here today. Anything else that I need to discuss? Everyone's good? Okay. With no further ado, here's Connie Grega.
Good morning, and welcome to the Rensselaer Ph.D. hooding ceremony. My name is Connie Grega, and I am Director of Graduate Student Services in the Office of Graduate Education. Before the ceremony begins, I would like to go over a few housekeeping items for the doctoral candidates, faculty, guests, and staff. To our doctoral candidates and faculty, please familiarize yourself with the card with the walking flow to and from the red carpet for the hooding. And I ask that you please follow the staff's directions. Staff will be on the outside. No card? We can get you some cards. No, oh, there's no more cards. Okay, well, you have staff that will direct you. We'll get you up here, I promise. Okay, and then to everyone here, please abide by Rensselaer's COVID policy of wearing your mask at all times unless you are eating, drinking, or posing for a photograph. And also, please remember to social distance when possible. And finally, please take a moment to silence your cell phones for the duration of the ceremony. Thank you. Everybody's now looking at their phones. So now, please let me welcome Ms. Colleen Smith, Dean of the Graduate Experience, to the podium.
Thank you. Good morning. Today's commencement exercises are a modern version of the ceremonies that originated in the Middle Ages. The academic costume, consisting of cap, gown, and hood, takes into account three factors: degree, field of knowledge, and granting institution. The cap that is known as the mortarboard style originated at Oxford. The recipient of a doctoral degree is entitled to wear a gold tassel, a late development that was first worn as a symbol of the master's degree. This year's tassel is in an elaboration of the European tuft. Rensselaer's doctoral cap is the beefeater style, and the trustee's cap is a six-corner tam with a gold metallic tassel. The gown varies for the respective degrees. Until the last 2 decades, a black gown was the basic garment. By the precedent set by Harvard, more American institutions are permitting the use of college colors. The cherry red gowns worn by Rensselaer trustees were adopted during the Rensselaer's 150th anniversary. In 1999, to mark the Rensselaer 175th anniversary, the trustees' gowns were updated to include purple stripes on the sleeves and a purple chest piece. The sleeves of the gown denote degree. Bachelor sleeves are long and pointed, master's sleeves are square at the bottom, and doctor's sleeves are bell-shaped and barred in either black velvet or velvet of the color used to designate the subject matter field. Today, the doctoral candidates will wear robes that are cherry red, with shields depicting the Rensselaer family crest on stripes of black velvet on the front of the robe. The hood, fastened at the throat and suspended from the shoulders, indicates the wearer's highest advanced degree, the field in which it was awarded, and the school from which it came. The lining of the hood carries the university's colors. The Rensselaer hood has a bright cherry red chevron on a white field. Please welcome Dr. Stanley Dunn, Vice Provost and Dean of Graduate Education, to the podium.
Thank you, Colleen. And welcome doctoral candidates, faculty, colleagues, guests, and staff. I am Dr. Stanley Dunn and have had the pleasure of serving as Vice Provost and Dean of Graduate Education. I am very pleased to have you join us this morning for the doctoral hooding ceremony. I'm delighted to be here in person to celebrate this wonderful occasion. The hooding ceremony serves to complement commencement. It gives special recognition to the Rensselaer graduate students from the schools of engineering, humanities, arts, and social sciences, and science. The graduate hooding ceremony signifies academic and personal achievement. I'd like to thank the doctoral candidates in particular for their contributions to the Rensselaer community during their time with us. You have served us as teaching assistants and research assistants, supporting groundbreaking faculty research. You have mentored each other. You have developed personal and professional friendships that should last you a lifetime. I would also like to acknowledge those who have supported the doctoral candidates along their academic journey. Many graduate school was a team effort requiring dedication and sacrifice. For many, graduate school was a team effort requiring dedication and sacrifice in pursuit of the end goal. This ceremony gives supporters a show of the Institute's appreciation for all that they have done to make this day a reality. Finally, I would like to recognize the academic advisors and mentors. The ceremony is a time when faculty and staff come together to focus on and to honor the doctoral candidates' accomplishments. Please join me in welcoming the Provost, Dr. Prabhat Hajela, to the podium.
Thank you, Stan. Good morning, everyone. The hooding ceremony today and the award of the diplomas tomorrow, they mark the culmination of many years of hard work and dedication. Your drive, focus, and determination have led you to this moment, and you should be very proud of yourself. Only 2% of adults in the United States hold a PhD or a professional doctoral degree. You have developed the skills that allow you to contribute to your field's body of knowledge in ways that are deeply satisfying through your research or through the guiding and development of students and professionals in your field. We know that you will embrace the Rensselaer motto, "Why not change the world?" as leaders and change makers that will tackle the greatest challenges facing humanity. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, but for now, accept my heartiest congratulations on your well-deserved success and best wishes for an exciting and fulfilling future. Thank you.
Although she was not able to be with us this morning, I have a message from the President, Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson. I would like to congratulate each of you on this monumental achievement. Today marks a very special occasion when you are all welcomed into a very elite community of scholars. We are very proud of you and of all you have accomplished during your time at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Earning a doctorate is the result of your hard work, your dedication to your mission, and to your perseverance. A doctorate is one of the most prestigious and demanding academic degrees offered by higher education. We have no doubt that you will be leaders in your respective fields. We have no doubt that you will be good global citizens who will care for each other and for the planet. I'm very proud of you all. I wish you a lifetime of happiness, good health, amazing accomplishments, and much success. Now, students will be called by school, department, and alphabetically one at a time with their faculty advisors. Students, we ask that when you're called, please rise, process around the back of the seating, and come forward on my left with your hood draped over your left arm. Faculty, colleagues, advisors, when called, please process in the same manner, standing in the designated spots on the red carpet to my right. Once done, please exit the red carpet to my right and process on the outside of the seats to your chair. And the staff are in place to help guide you. We'll begin with the School of Engineering. And we'll begin first with Devin Renshaw. Devin Renshaw has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Optical Navigation Using Quadrics and Indirect Indexing and Search Methods. He was advised by Kurt Anderson and will be hooded by Kurt. I would like to ask Kurt to place the hood over Devin's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Luis Victor Rapollo Cagliari has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Plant and Control Optimization in the Context of Chaotic Dynamical Systems and was advised by Sandipan Mishra and Jason Hicken. I would now like to ask Sandy and Jason to place the hood over Luis's head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Timothy Emre Rice has successfully defended the dissertation entitled All Electronic Terahertz Wave Gas Sensing via Absorption Spectroscopy and was advised by Matt Oschlager and will be hooded by Matt. I would like to ask Matt to place the hood over Tim's head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Di Zhao has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Trajectory Optimization and Control for Autonomous Helicopter Shipboard Landing, and was advised by Sandeepan Mishra and will be hooded by Sandy. I would now like to ask Sandy to place the hood over Dee's head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Elizabeth Caponia has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Convective Small Molecule Transport, a Therapeutic Strategy for Augmenting Intervertebral Disc Regeneration. She was advised by Eric Ledet and will be hooded by Deepak Vashist. I would now like to ask Deepak to place the hood over her head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Genevieve Grivas has successfully defended the dissertation entitled The Use of Mathematical Models to Assess Probability of an Autism Spectrum Disorder Diagnosis in Children. She was advised by Professor Jürgen Hahn and will be hooded by Jürgen. I would now like to ask Jürgen to place the hood over her head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Ching Liu has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Deep Neural Networks for MRI Applications. He was advised by Professor Ji Wang and will be hooded by Professor Jürgen Hahn. I would now like to ask Jürgen to place the hood over Ching's head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Devin Poole Devin has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Drug and Gene Delivery from Electrospun Fibers for Neural Repair. She was advised by Ryan Gilbert and will be hooded by Stephen Kramer. I would now like to ask Steve to place the hood over Devin's head, signifying her success in completing the doctoral degree program. Cassandra Roberge has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Non-Destructive Platform for Morphologic and Cell Density Characterization of Developing and Drugged Multicellular Tumor Spheroids. She was advised by Professor David Kaur and will be hooded by David. I would now like to ask him to place the hood over Cassie's head, signifying her success in completing the doctoral degree program. Matthew Tice. Matthew has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Loss and Modulation of Bone Matrix and Fragility During Diabetes Mellitus. He was advised by Deepak Vashith and will be hooded by Deepak. I would now like to ask Deepak to place the hood over Matt's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Sneha Gopal has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Applications of High-Throughput Screening Platforms for Biologic Discovery. She was advised by Professor Jonathan Dordick and will be hooded by John. I would now like to ask him to place the hood over Sneha's head, signifying her success in completing the doctoral degree program. Siddharth Parasnavis has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Insights into the Purification of Bispecific Antibodies on Multimodal Systems from Chromatography to Biophysics. He was advised by Professor Steve Kramer and will be hooded by Steve. I would now like to ask Steve to place the hood over Siddharth's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Nicholas Smezak. Nicholas successfully defended the dissertation entitled Ambient Pressure Synthesis and Characterization of Strongly Correlated Oxides. And he was advised by Vidya Chakrapani and will be hooded by Vidya. I would now like to ask her to place the hood over Nick's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Tathagata Baduri. Tathagata successfully defended the dissertation entitled Multiscale Computational Modeling of Interplay of Fibers, Reinforcement, and Cementitious Matrix for Ultra-High Performance Concrete and Fluids and Solid States. He was advised by Mohammed Al-Nagar and will be hooded by Christopher Letchford. I would like to ask Chris to place the hood over Tathagata's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Ali Miri. Ali successfully defended the dissertation entitled Performance and Functionality Objectives in Low to Mid-Rise Buildings, a Resilience Study for Wind Hazards. He was advised by Chris Letchford and will be hooded by Chris. I would now like to ask him to place the hood over Ali's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral program. Christos Varsamis. Christos has successfully defended his dissertation entitled Effects of Displacement-Dependent Stiffness on Performance of Seismically Isolated Bridges, an investigation using design optimization. He was advised by Professor Michael Simons and will be hooded by Professor Christopher Letchford. I would like to ask Chris to place the hood over his head, signifying Christos's completion of the doctoral degree program. Sarthak Chatterjee. Sarthak defended the dissertation entitled Analysis and Design of Closed-Loop Fractional Order Systems and its Application to Neurotechnology. He was advised by Professor Agung Julius and will be hooded by Professor John Wen. I would now like to ask John to place the hood over Sarthak's head, signifying his completion of the doctoral degree program. Xiangyang Mu. Xiangyan has successfully defended his dissertation entitled Neural Semantic Structure Modeling for Complex Question Answering Tasks. He was advised by Professor Chang Ji and will be hooded by Professor John Wen. I would like to ask John to place the hood over Xiangyang's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Amelia Peterson. Amelia defended the dissertation entitled Oxygen Adsorption and Photoconduction Models for Metal Oxide Photoconductors. She was advised by Professor Shayla Sawyer and will be hooded by Shayla. I would now like to ask Shayla to place the hood over Amelia's head, signifying her completion of the doctoral degree program. Yifan Chao. Yifan defended the dissertation entitled Design of Data Management Systems Upon New Memory and Storage Hardware. Yifan was advised by Professor Tong Zhang and will be hooded by Professor Mona Hella. I would now like to ask Mona to place the hood over Yifan's head, signifying his completion of the doctoral degree program. Daniel Douglas. Daniel has defended his dissertation entitled Machine Learning Strategies for Power Systems. He was advised by Professor Joe Chow and will be hooded by Professor Rich Radke. I would now like to ask Rich to place the hood over Daniel's head, signifying Daniel's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Ashraful Islam. Ashraful defended his dissertation entitled Learning in Limited Data and Limited Annotation Scenarios. He was advised by Professor Rich Radke and will be hooded by Rich. I would now like to ask Rich to place the hood over Ashraful's head, signifying his completion of the doctoral degree program. Alex Katsakis. Alex has defended his dissertation entitled Low Temperature and Impurity Compensated Gallium Antimonide Crystal Growth for Nonlinear Optical Applications. He was advised by Professor Peter Persons and will be hooded by Peter. I would now like to ask Peter to place the hood over Alex's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Mohammed Walid Manshah. Mohammed has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Integrated Circuit Techniques for Terahertz Wave Rotational Spectroscopy. He was advised by Professor Mona Hella and will be hooded by Mona. I would now like to ask Mona to place the hood over Mohammed's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Junsoon Park has successfully defended his dissertation entitled Carbon Nanotubes for Sensing and Terahertz Applications. Junsoon was advised by Professor Michael Schur and will be hooded by Professor Mona Hella. I would now like to ask Mona to place the hood over Junsoon's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Iosias Ashanafi has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Optimization of Controlled Environment Agriculture for Growing Crops. He was advised by Professor Marianne Nyman and will be hooded by Marianne. I would now like to ask her to place the hood over Iosias' head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the degree. Genevieve Kane. Genevieve has successfully defended the dissertation entitled Development of In Situ FIB-SEM Techniques for Microstructural Characterization and Evolution of Polycrystalline Metals. She was advised by Professor Robert Hall and will be hooded by Robert. I would now like to ask him to place the hood over Genevieve's head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Prachi Pragnaya. Prachi has successfully defended the dissertation entitled In Situ Transmission Electron Microscopy of High-Temperature Iconal 625 Corrosion by Molten Chloride Salts. She was advised by Professor Robert Hull and Daniel Gall, and will be hooded by Robert Hull. I would now like to ask Robert to place the hood over Prachi's head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Abhishek Shandilya. Abhishek defended his dissertation entitled Modeling Interfaces in Polymer Nanodielectrics. He was advised by Ravi Shankar Sudaramanan and will be hooded by Pavel Kablinsky. I would now like to ask Pavel to place the hood over Abhishek's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Donovan Weiblin. Donovan defended his dissertation entitled The Impact of Surface Modification on Magnetofunctional Iron Oxide Polyethylene Oxide Nanocomposites. He was advised by Rami Ozisik and will be hooded by Pavel Kablinsky. I will now ask Pavel to place the hood over Donovan's head, signifying Donovan's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Anirban Chandra. Anirban defended his dissertation entitled Interfacial Relations in Liquid Vapor Phase Change Processes, an atomistic and continuum study. He was advised by Pavel Kablinsky and co-advised by Asad Oberoi. Anirban will be hooded by Pavel. I would now like to ask him to place the hood over Anirban's head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Bowen Gong. Bowen defended his dissertation entitled Non-Destructive Platform for Morphologic and Cell Density Characterization of Developing and Drugged Multicellular Tumor Spheroids. He was advised by Professor Ji Lian and will be hooded by Professor Jason Hicken. I would now like to ask Jason to place the hood over Bowen's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Mithil Campbell. Mithil defended his dissertation entitled Fatigue and Fracture in Polymer Networks and Their Composites. He was co-advised by Professors Catalan Piku and Nikhil Karatkar and will be hooded by Dean Shekhar Garde. I would now like to ask Shekhar to place the hood over the candidate's head, signifying Mithiel's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Aniruddha Singh Lakhnot. Aniruddha defended his dissertation entitled Open Crystal Structure Anode Materials for Superior Aqueous Metal Ion Batteries. He was advised by Professor Nikhil Karatkar and will be hooded by Professor Vidya Chakrapani. I would now like to ask Vidya to place the hood over Aniruddha's head, signifying a success in completing the doctoral degree program. Jacob Merson. Jacob Merson defended his dissertation entitled Mechanics of Network Materials Using Discrete Network Models and GPU-Accelerated Multiscale Finite Elements. He was advised by Catalin Picu and Mark Shepard, and will be hooded by Professor Mark Shepard. I would now ask Mark to place the hood over Jacob's head, signifying Jacob's success in completing the doctoral degree program. James Nowak. James defended his dissertation entitled Freeform Fabrication Processes for Soft Polymeric Biomaterials. He was advised by Johnson Samuel and will be hooded by Johnson. I would now ask Johnson to place the hood over James's head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Duncan Smith. Duncan Smith has defended his dissertation entitled Building a Standard Approach for Luminescent Solar Concentrator Performance Evaluation, Enabling Design Flexibility and Annual Energy Production Forecasts. He was advised by Deanna Andra Borka-Taschuk and Michael Hughes, and will be hooded both by Deanna and Michael. I would now like to ask both Deanna and Michael to place the hood over the candidate's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. Matthew Eklund. Joseph McPherson. Joseph McPherson defended his dissertation entitled Modeling and Improving Single Event Burnout Performance from Heavy Ion Bombardment in High Voltage 4H SiC powered devices. He was advised by Professor Wei Ji and will be hooded by Dean Shekhar Garde. I would now like to ask Shekhar to place the hood over Joseph's head, signifying Joseph's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Abdel Rahman Ismail. Carlos Rivera. Carlos defended his dissertation entitled "A Mathematical Model for Freight-Efficient Land Use Planning." He was advised by Professor Jose Holguin-Veras and will be hooded by Jose. I would now like to ask Jose to place the hood over Carlos's head, signifying his success in completing the doctoral degree program. From the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, Carolyn Tennant. Carolyn defended her dissertation entitled "The Expressive Archive, Defining a Genre." She was advised by Kathleen Ruiz and Rebecca Rouse, and she will be hooded by Dean Mary Simone. I would now like to ask Mary to place the hood over Carolyn's head, signifying Carolyn's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Van Tran Nguyen. Van has successfully defended the dissertation entitled "Erie County Smile on Exilic Media and Identity Construction." She was advised by Kathy Hai and Tomie Han and will be hooded by Dean Mary Simone. I would now like to ask Mary to place the hood over Van's head, signifying her success in completing the doctoral degree program. From the School of Science, Jacqueline Pelham. Jacqueline defended her dissertation entitled "Deciphering the Contributions of Protein Disorder to the Repressing Complex of the Circadian Clock." She was advised by Professor Jennifer Hurley and will be hooded by Jennifer. I'd now like to ask Jennifer to place the hood over Jackie's head, signifying the candidate's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Jinchu Wang. Jinchu has defended the dissertation entitled "Studying Tertiary Structural Transitions of tRNAYS3 and AFR1 Protein with Pressure." She was advised by Professor Catherine Royer and will be hooded by Kathy. I would now like to ask Kathy to place the hood over Jinchu's head, signifying her completion of the doctoral degree program. Pooja Goswami. Pooja defended her dissertation entitled Deciphering Start Dynamics in Budding Yeast Using Scanning Number and Brightness. She also was advised by Professor Kathy Royer and will be hooded by Kathy. I would now like to ask her to place the hood over Pooja's head, signifying the candidate's completion of the doctoral degree program. Kenning Lane. Kenning defended the dissertation entitled Lipase-Catalyzed Biodegradable Polyol Synthesis and Characterization. He was advised by Professors Richard Gross and Robert Lindhart and will be hooded by Professor David Kaur. I would now like to ask David to place the hood over Kenning's head, signifying that Kenning has completed the doctoral degree program. Garrett Diamond. Garrett Diamond has defended his dissertation entitled Improving Parallelism of Scientific and Engineering Applications on Heterogeneous Supercomputers. He was advised by Professor Mark Shepard and will be hooded by Mark. I'd now like to ask Mark to place the hood over Garrett's head, signifying that he has completed the doctoral degree program. Neil McLaughlin. Neil has defended his dissertation entitled Exploration of Communication in Interconnection Network Congestion and Methods of Mitigation Through Simulation. He was advised by Professor Christopher Carruthers and will be hooded by Chris. I would now like to ask Chris to place the hood over Neil's head, signifying the candidate's completion of the doctoral degree program. Fei Pan. Fei defended her dissertation entitled End-to-End Question Answering on Semi-Structured Tabular Data. She was advised by Professor James Hendler and will be hooded by Jim. I would now like to ask Jim to place the hood over her head, signifying Fei's success in completing the doctoral degree program. Sazwada Paul. Sazwada has defended his dissertation entitled Formal Verification of Decentralized Coordination in Autonomous Multi-Agent Aerospace Systems. He was advised by Professor Carlos Varela and will be hooded by Carlos. I would now like to ask Carlos to place the hood over Sazwada's head, signifying his completion of the doctoral degree program. Ahmed Elish. Ahmed defended the dissertation entitled an information theoretic approach to graph representations, graph embedding, and embedding evaluation. He was advised by Professor Richard Plotka and will be hooded by Rick. I would now like to ask Rick to place the hood over Ahmed's head, signifying his completion of the doctoral degree program. Anirudh Prabhu. Anirudh defended his dissertation entitled Towards Automated Axiom Generation, a semi-automated approach to generating, quote, knowledge and rule base, unquote, corpora from text narratives. He was advised by Professor Deborah McGinnis and will be hooded by Deborah. I would now like to ask Deborah to place the hood over Anirudh's head, signifying his completion of the doctoral degree. Adela Habib. Adela defended the dissertation entitled Multiscale Dynamics in Complex Materials and Interfaces. She was advised by Ravi Shankar Sudaramanan and will be hooded by Vincent Meunier. I would now like to ask Vincent to place the hood over Adela's head, signifying her completion of the doctoral degree. Omar Malik. Omar defended his dissertation entitled Classical and Quantum Spreading Processes on Disordered and Complex Networks. He was advised by Georgie Cornish and will be hooded by Vincent Meunier. I would now like to ask Vincent to place the hood over Omar's head, signifying his completion of the doctoral degree program. Natalia Sheremetyeva. Natalia defended her dissertation entitled Vibrational Properties of Materials from First Principles Calculations. She was advised by Professor Vincent Meunier and will be hooded by Vincent. I would now like to ask Vincent to place the hood over Natalia's head, signifying her completion of the doctoral degree program. So I'd like to ask everyone to join me in congratulating our newest doctoral degree recipients. So, whatever your next steps may be, some of you may be staying here, some of you to industry, some of you to academic positions, postdoc positions. You will always have your advisors with you, your committees. You will always have Rensselaer with you. And so take the luggage tag with you that we have given you today as a reminder of the, transformative life that you've lived here. The journey is yours, each and every step. And as something that I've learned along the way, and I'd share with you, is, leave every situation better than when you arrived. My personal congratulations to you all. I couldn't be happier. You have worked hard. I think we all know, my colleagues and I all know how hard you have worked, and under the duress of the last couple of years, it's been even more challenging. So, we really admire you for what you've done. So you deserve to be very proud of your achievements here today and tomorrow morning when you receive your diploma. So good luck to you. Good health to all. Thank you for all of you for coming. Congratulations. Thank you to the faculty. Thank you to all of our visitors today. And good health to all of you, and thank you for coming.